Welcome back to the God of Next podcast. I'm your host Apollo Reed. I'm here with my dramatic brother Andre Jalil. How you doing, bro?
Why I gotta be dramatic? What I do?
What you need the sunglasses for at
What I
night?
do? Come on, it's bright in here. I got these lights in here. Calm down.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. But you
Yeah,
doing good though? You doing good? How's everything?
yeah. I'm chilling, Paul. I got my shades on, feeling like chips.
You have
Oh,
like a keyboard down there or something?
Huh?
You have a keyboard down there or something?
Yeah, I
Piano?
got keyboard. What you mean?
you got the organ in front of you.
Oh, I thought you meant like keyboard.
Nah, you looking more like Stevie Wonder.
Word.
Anyway, and I'm also here with the cousin Rick the Ruler. How you doing, family? Talk to me.
I'm good, man. I'm very, very good.
Very good. That's
Tired, but good.
oh, listen. Trust me, I know the vibes. I
Yeah,
definitely
man.
know the
You know the
vibes.
vibes.
I know the vibes.
You know the
So,
vibes. You know the word.
pardon us being a day late on it, but the Knicks.
Nah, because everybody was running around doing their little pods last night. So you know what? Let's give them a little room. Good for them. Good for them. We gave them a little space. If we had to do our thing, we do it. Let's do it tomorrow.
Yeah, that's exactly how the conversation went.
Word.
That's exactly how the conversation went.
Yes,
But
boom.
last night, the Knicks beat the Wizards 115-113. And it was an odd game. It ended up being a great fourth quarter, but it wasn't a great game all the way around. It was something that
The first
you
half
know,
was terrible.
first half was terrible. First half was terrible. Guys were just making shot on the Wizard side. Guys are just making shots that they're not gonna make every game. Like Neto looked like how
I
much
was
did
gonna
Neto
say, I was like, who's that kid?
Yeah.
Neto did that last year too.
did he really have what did
He
Neto
was
have
going.
last
He was going off last year too. He's like that one dude that nobody's like anticipating, and he just coming in. He's fiery. He's
My
like
man had 25 points.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
did
He
that
went
last
off.
year.
He
He
was
went
10
off.
of 13 from the field.
Yeah, that little dude
Regardless,
coming there. He just going in there fast.
I didn't expect that. I don't think anyone expected that, and I think that's probably why the game went the way it went because it's like nobody game plan for this guy. But anyway, they lost. You know what I mean? They lost. So that's the important part to me.
That's what I
Um
like about it. In
yeah,
spite of
yeah,
his 25 points, yeah, the Knicks still came out with the dub.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. So the guys they struggled mightily. We got a Mitchell Robinson sighting, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Not just the sighting, we got a whole lot of it, you know what I'm saying? But he how did he look to you, Dre? What do you think of your man Mitchell Robinson?
So Mitch looked like he's off. His rhythm is off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he did good because he's an NBA player. But he even said at the end of the game they were interviewing him. He said, "Man, I got to run again." So here's what I think
Yeah,
is going to happen with him.
right.
He's going to lose some of that weight again when he start running.
Absolutely.
Because when you in the gym like that, everybody knows when you lift weights, you start getting big like that. You start running, you get that running weight.
He's gonna
You know what
drop
I'm
down
saying?
about 265.
Right. So he might drop. You know what I'm saying? But I want to see that. He kind of almost looks too big for himself, or
For him,
bigger
yeah,
than what I'm used to seeing from him.
yeah.
But in spite of that, you saw him. He was winded at one point. He was gassed,
Yeah.
which is natural. It was his first game back. They said they were going to give him a few minutes, but he looked good out there.
Mm-hmm.
I think the weight works because there was one point he dunked on somebody. He got the rebound, put it back, and he was doing a
Yeah.
whole. And I thought that was dope. But I think even if he does still lose 10 pounds, he's still heavier. He's still more experienced. Once he gets his legs up back
Right.
underneath him,
Mm-hmm.
I think that boy is going to be fun to see. But one thing I did not like, and this is like the big thing that worries me about the playoffs, he never got that ball or looked to the basket, never tried to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, he's standing at the line and he's got to give it up. He's not facing the basket at all. It's still that thing that I don't like to see out of the centers for the Knicks. I want somebody who could at least be a threat offensively.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I agree. What about you, Rick? What did you see from Mitch that you did or did not like?
I mean, honestly, I came in toward the end of it. I caught.
You ain't missed nothing.
I saw. The funny thing is, I came in and Walt was talking about how gassed Mitchell looked. So, and then they showed I guess a replay of him struggling to get up the floor.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And
yeah.
I was and that's all I saw. So I was just like, dang, this ain't good. But I heard he did all right. So we'll see. And that's who I wanted to see. I wanted to see him play. Like
Yeah,
I
he
remember I
looked
was
good. But
driving.
he almost looked like a different player.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, I agree. I think from the start he looked good in the beginning. He looked like he had that energy. He had that dunk, but then after a while, it looked like the weight started taking its toll on him. You know what I mean? But more than anything, I just think he needs to run more, getting up and down at that court 90 feet. That's not easy for anybody. You know what I mean? And he's played in the league. Um, so a game speed is different. You can run that entire court back and forth all day long in practice, but game speed is completely different. You know what I mean? Because it's a bunch of guys trying to catch you off guard, and so it's not surprising to me that he struggled a little bit on the I would guess endurance side or the stamina side, but he looked pretty
It's
good.
been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, but he had some blocks. He was out there getting some blocks. He was out there challenging shots, and guys seeing him in there, and they're not gonna. It doesn't even matter because there was a stat that I looked at a couple of weeks ago where it showed that Mitch actually he averaged less blocks this past year than he did the year before. And people were just saying, well, that's the result of him learning how to be more disciplined and not go for every single block.
Right.
And that's exactly what we wanted to see. And I was saying that from the beginning. Like, I love the blocks, but at the end of the day, it's gonna have to tone it down so that he can actually play better defense. And that's what we're starting to see. You're starting to see him just challenge shots. That's way more important than getting the block every single time. Because if you're trying to jump for every block, people are gonna know that you're gonna do that, and they're gonna head fake.
Yeah.
No, he's at the point where even if you get the shot off before he actually jumps, he can still block it. So why not just stay on the ground and make sure they actually go up with the ball before you actually go for a block.
Mhm.
So I think he's, like he said, he's gonna need some time. He's gonna need just to get back and forth up and down the court. But he looked pretty good for someone who hadn't played since when? March.
March
It's been
last
a while.
March
Yeah.
this year,
Yeah, since March. He looked pretty good. I'm not dissatisfied at all. I think he looked smarter. He started playing. He's playing a little bit better basketball as well, more like a veteran. So that's good. That's good. I'm proud of the kid. Um, but we can also, let's bring this thing up here.
Speaking of blocks, though, your boy was looking pretty sharp out there on the defensive end.
Who you talking about? My man RJ. He did have 2 blocks.
Yeah, your boy who RJ?
Yeah, RJ had 2 blocks. But
RJ
you're
was
probably talking about
looking
Obi
good on the
Toppin.
defensive. He was rising to the challenge. It looked like.
Actually, now that I see it, RJ and Obi are the only 2 who got blocks.
Only got blocks. Yeah. Mitch didn't get one.
No.
He got 2 steals, but he didn't get any blocks.
Taj fouled out.
Taj fouled out, and he was fine with it. He was fine with it.
They got him as negative 13 plus
Yeah.
minus.
Yeah, he was out there fouling. He was out there fouling. Kemba didn't look good. He was negative 20. Look at it. Oh my goodness gracious. Negative 20. The thing about Kemba is he has to play great offensively for this number to look decent. Because if he doesn't, he's almost always going to look bad on the defensive end. Just sheer because of his size, and guys are going to try to take advantage of him. But what did he end up with anyway?
12.
Kemba had 12, and he looked good. Even though he was 4 for 11, he didn't look terrible. There was some things that we wish, he'd have knocked more of those shots down, but he doesn't force a lot of shots when he doesn't have it. I guess tonight he was just last night he was trying to get some shots up. Also with Fournier, trying to get Fournier back into the groove.
He's gonna be all right.
He's gonna be fine, I think. And he hits timely shots. That's the thing about Fournier that I do like, is that he takes the smart shot, and he takes the shot that a lot of other guys that we've had in the past wouldn't have taken. But that's
he made me upset on one play where he had the lane and he tried to pass it, and I'm just like, why would you do that?
Like, yeah, I
And
think
it was a
I know.
turnover.
Yeah, I think I
said
know.
something about it. He was like, why did he pass that?
Why did he do
Yeah.
that? He didn't have to do that. Yeah, it was. I
think
think
he was feeling the team vibe, and
he's
just
feeling
took
the
it too
team
far.
vibe, and I think that's something that people don't talk about when people try to overplay the team aspect instead of looking for their shot. And I think that was something that was said heavily about Frank Ntilikina last year and in the years prior, was that he's such a team player that he doesn't even want to look for his own shot. And I'm sure he can make a lot of those shots. I'm sure he can take a lot of those shots, but he just didn't.
Have you seen those guys in the preseason?
No, I haven't, but I know that they definitely blew out the Charlotte Hornets by 68 points the other night.
What?
68.
Why did I not see that come across
the
my
most
timeline
in history?
What date was that?
That was like 2 days ago, maybe. No,
I got a YouTube that
might have been 2-3 days ago. 68 points, man. Now,
wow.
I don't want Knicks fans to start getting scared.
I don't know if that had anything to do with it.
Because, there's Knicks fans is already out there talking about, see, we gave a Reggie Bullock night. I'm like, yo, see, this is why you guys need to chill out loud. A lot of y'all are just absolutely ridiculous. These fans are just ridiculous. But Julius Randle, tell me, Dre, what you see from Julius Randle that impressed you besides for the obvious play?
Well, again, Julius is Julius.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I said to you, what annoyed me was when he missed those 2 free throws.
Mm-hmm.
But I said, first of all, let me preface this by saying it was a preseason game.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think the lineups, what the lineups are going to be at these times. I don't think that. I don't think the personnel is going to be what the personnel is going to be in these serious games. Same thing for the Wizards. They didn't have Dinwiddie out there. They didn't have Beal out there. But this was just a matter of they closed it. I thought they were just going to lose. I thought that was it. They kept missing. There were key shots they would miss. And I was like, they're not going to get back in this game because I just wanted them to be undefeated in the preseason.
Right.
And then they put Julius back in. I'm not sure why he was in there, but they put him back in there because I didn't think it was a big deal if we did lose.
Right.
But I do feel like since we had already beat the Wizards, they wanted to win. But what I like about the spirit of this team was it's like, now we got to figure out how we're going to get these wins no matter what. Every game means something. And the crowd was amazing. I can't wait to go to the game open.
Opening night is gonna be amazing.
Opening night is gonna be, dude. I'm not gonna have a voice by the time I get back.
No, we're not. No, I thought about it the other day. I said I'm not gonna have a voice. Like it's
dude, everything. I'm gonna be hollering in there, and that was so exciting. And just even with Kemba having a bad night, -20, and then you see Derrick Rose was a +20.
Yeah.
It's like he made up for that. And Derrick Rose had more minutes. He had him playing at the end of the game, and I'm like, I don't think Tibbs is worried about these dudes getting injured. You know how you trying to protect these cats?
I think he really wanted to win.
I think, more than anything, these guys are playing for a reason. You know what I mean? I think I forgot who it was. Another star just played like 30-something minutes the other night. Nobody was talking about it. You know what I'm saying? So I think Coach Tibbs isn't the only coach doing that. A lot of these guys, he's playing them in these minutes in the preseason because he has to figure it out. He wants to start off strong.
He wants to see he's got a small sample size. He's trying to figure out. I saw him play Julius and Obi together, and that looked good.
I mentioned that. that online. I said I'm starting to like the Julius.
I like that because Obi is a different player this season.
That's right. He's much better.
Much better. And he's more versatile. He's someone that you can give the ball to and you don't necessarily have to worry about because he doesn't make bad plays. You know what I mean? There's some times where he's like, okay, Obi. But it's kind of like, okay, for a second-year guy, he doesn't make bad plays. You know what I mean? Like there's plays out there, you could have did that better, which he will get with time. You don't just have that wisdom.
And I think he sees it because a lot of times, like when he makes a play, the camera will zoom in on him, he's just like, I should have whatever. So I think he's learning in real time. So,
but real quick, one of the things I noticed by the stats here: 3 players 100% from the free throw line: Kemba, Taj, and Derrick Rose, which I think is dope.
Right.
And Julius Randle 72%. Those 2. Speaking of when you talk about Julius Randle, those 2 free throws that I was so annoyed.
That really
because you know what? Here's the whole thing about the whole game. It just seemed like they came in there. They know they beat Washington already. I feel like they came in like they weren't ready to play. It just seemed like they was like, we got to play this last preseason game.
Right.
And I don't think Tibbs was letting them get away with that. And it got towards the end, the crowd got into it, and they were like, well, while we here, we close it. It's down. We only down 10 now. We only down 8. We only down 5. It was like, yo, we can actually take this. So Julius, he gets it because he did his thing, and then he missed those 2 free throws, and it looked like he was real lackadaisical with it.
Right.
That was the thing that it just looked like he was just shooting them. He didn't focus. He didn't breathe. It just looked like he went through the motions and shot it. But so I was like, yo, let me find out. We got to go to overtime. He missed the first one. I was like, all right, he got the second one, and then he missed the second one.
That's the same thing I said. And then he missed both, and then they go down, and I think Corey Kispert, who's somebody I was interested in, but
I like that dude.
I'm good. I like him.
RJ got the block.
I like him, but I'm good. And then that RJ block was
Yo.
beautiful, man.
Yo, and you heard it. It was like the mic right there. It was like, oh, it was just like,
Yo, and he made the sound. He was like, no,
yeah, it was just like volleyball, one of them.
Yo,
and that was dope. But Julius was Julius. Nothing crazy. There's nothing to be surprised about with Julius. I'm curious as to why he ran Derrick Rose for almost 30 minutes and Kemba only got 20. I just felt like he could have break that. What up, Legion and Knicks?
What's going on, Legion, bro? Peace, family. We got shout out to the chat. We got Jelani. My bad, Dre. You had something else?
No, I was about to comment with Jelani. He said, they're keeping the stars out there on the floor so long. It's like, what you doing? Take them out of there.
Right. But he also mentioned when we was mentioning he missed 2 free throws, but he made up for it. That's growth.
You better, what I tell you last night? I felt like they went in a huddle, and coach was like, "Since you missed them 2 goddamn free throws, you're gonna go in there and win the game for it."
No, for sure. And I think that's probably like, yo, but not in that same tone, but more like, listen, I know you missed it. I'm still put the trust in you to go.
He said, you saw what you just did over there, right? Go back in there. You get the last shot, clear out.
And Jay said that's exactly
ice this game.
Went down. Like, there's no way.
Yo, I wish I could be a coach. Like, since you so cute.
You want to be so cute.
Yeah, it's a game. Now you go clear out. Yo, I would have been in that huddle like Julius about to win this for us, right? Julius got it. Don't even worry about it. Just clear out.
Come on, clap.
No, come on. Yeah. Come on, Julius. Missing 2 free throws. In a row.
That was bad.
But I mean, preseason, it would have been like, so what? You know what I mean? But you just want to ice it. You know what I mean?
So Lonnie says, I think Tibbs wants the guys ready by day 1 so that he can get the bench players and role players involved early. So when they hit the playoffs, they've got playing comfort. And that's part of what I was saying. Like, he wants to be ready on day 1. You know what I mean? Every game is going to matter. He wants to get 50+ wins. That's what Tibbs is going to aim for. So to me, I think that's the goal. The goal is to win every game as early as possible. Don't start figuring it out at the beginning of the season. Figure it out in preseason. This way, you know what your minutes should look like with the rotation by the time the season starts. And I mean,
you can't figure it all out. You can get a good idea. Like, he's trying to see what's happening,
right?
Yeah. And because I do want to see Nerlens, but I do believe in mid-season form.
Right.
Mitch it's gonna be a couple weeks before he really gets his wind and he get his shape.
Right.
And what he's really going to be looking like, because that's exciting. I've been super big on Mitchell for a while, but he only played 35 games last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like he's got to get used to the game all over again. And like you said,
practice
is practice, but on the game, when that shit go up and down and they not stopping for 3 throws, you got to run.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
You can't be lackadaisical, especially on this team, because Tibbs, as much as Tibbs loved him, did he have him in there at the end of the game?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, he was tired after he blew that. But
that's what I'm saying.
He was running Obi and Julius though, which I thought that was
right.
Dope.
Which is why that's what I was leading to. My
Julius was running point when that was happening. He was supposed to be center, but he was bringing the ball.
I think Obi was center.
No, I don't think. See, this is the thing. I don't think it matters what position they play on offense.
He want to bring it up. It don't matter.
No, like I said, offense doesn't matter when it comes to them playing next to each other. The problem is defensively. That's the only reason why playing them next to each other is an issue, is because of the fact that who are we going to put on Joel Embiid?
Well, it's about matchups. They're not going to do that on the night you play.
Yeah, right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, but that's why last night they were able to play, because it was like, first of all, you see Obi had 3 blocks last night. He was out there. He was out there. 3 blocks, 8 rebounds. And, he's active. And that's the only way they're going to be able to play next to each other. You know what I'm saying? If he's playing primarily on the perimeter, it's not going to work. You know what I'm saying? So, the way that they ran next to each other yesterday was something that everybody has wanted to see for a long time. Because why? We want to see more Obi. The only way we're going to see more Obi is if he plays next to Julius Randle. It's the only way. I mean, we might see a little bit more minutes this year from him, maybe 5 more minutes if he's playing just that same bench role as last year. But if we're talking about Obi taking it to the next level, he has to play more minutes next to starters, next to guys that do play at that high level. You know what I mean? So that's just my input. What did y'all see from Obi that you wanted him to do last year that you seen him do last night?
Well, he don't have that. That I always say that look, that fresh new look, and he
Mhm.
had it because after he knocked down 1-3, he was pointing at Mayweather. Remember that part?
Yeah,
He was like,
he
"That
was
was
like,
for
"This
you."
one's for you." Yeah,
But that's one thing I think that's big about this season. That's for Obi.
Yeah.
Obi is a performer when the crowd is hyped.
Right.
We didn't have a crowd like that last season until like the end of the very
Absolutely.
end of the season. In the playoffs,
Yeah,
when the
in the
game meant
playoffs, he
more,
had
Feeds
it.
off of it.
Yep.
He feeds off of it.
he's
Man.
gonna be a pressure cooker. That kid right there is
Telling
the
you.
like when the crowd is hyped like that.
Right.
That's when he's good. That's what I like about Obi. He seems like when the crowd is rocking, that's when it's Obi. He a New Yorker. He's from here, and it's just like that's what he's used to.
Yeah,
Mhm.
even
Down there,
without
like
the ball,
the
even
rugged
without the ball, because like I see he's constantly moving.
Mhm.
Like when the shot goes up, he positions himself to get the putback or to get the rebound. Like I feel like he's comfortable, and then I think Jelani he used that word comfort,
Yeah.
and well I don't want to step on the player you got coming up next, but we saw a couple of players that look comfortable out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Obi looked like he ready this season.
What player were you talking about in terms of comfort?
Grimes.
Quentin Grimes. How did you know I was gonna go there, man? We didn't even talk about.
I mean, you had to have. I didn't know
You know
if it was gonna be next, but
you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
You
you
know
had
what
to
I'm
talk
saying?
about
See?
him, man.
So we had spoke about it in the group chat earlier. I spoke up. I think I don't remember what podcast it was, or what show it was after the game or whatever. But my question was, who out of the rookies do you guys think will have the most opportunity to play? And everyone obviously was saying Deuce because of what he showed, and I like Deuce the most out of the three.
They
But
seem like the same player to me though.
who?
Both of them. They seem like the same player. I just think that Deuce is a better defender.
Nah, I think they're two. They're definitely two different players.
They don't play the
They don't play
same
the
in
same
my
game at
opinion,
all.
but
Yeah.
they both are intense if that's what you mean.
Yeah. They both play. They both can do the same things, but they're two different styles of players. If you ask me, but
The kid didn't look that good to me though. He knocked down some key shots. He was only 2 for 9.
Yeah,
He knocked down some key shots.
He to me. All right. So anyway, the point I was trying to make.
I don't think he looked bad. I just think that I think the moment was kind of big, and it's like he's got to get used to those moments.
I mean, and I don't think he looked bad for someone who didn't ever have a chance to play in those big moments.
Right. I don't think he looked
like
bad.
The moment hit him, and you saw him react to you saw him reacting to the moment.
Yeah.
But if you watch the game and the flow of the game that everything was going, he looked pretty good.
He looked like he was going that pace.
I mean, he definitely missed some shots. He missed some shots for sure, but he definitely. I mean, you see the plus 16. He looked good on defense. He was getting in the passing lane. He was getting getting out in the break. He was hitting key shots. There was one play. He had
I see you too here.
He had the head fake and drove down, and then with the dish, I forgot it was might have been the Obi or Mitch maybe. It was one of the two or one of the bigs. He had the drive and dish to him. I think actually it was Mitch on the play where Mitch had the drive down the lane on the two-hand dunk. And that wasn't on the one where he went straight up. It was the one he drove down and had the two-hand dunk. I think that was the play. But it's just being very, very, as they call in basketball, heady. Just being aware of what's going on in the court. But like I was saying, I think he has the most opportunity more than all the other three out of the three rookies because of the lack of depth at the position that he plays. You know what I mean? Who's gonna really be coming out behind RJ? That besides for Alec Burks, and we spoke about the fact that we know Alec Burks at some point is going to miss some games. He usually just does.
That's what I love about the squad. We got some depth, man.
Right? Yeah, you got depth, and that's what I'm saying. Like you gotta have guys ready at each position. And playing Quentin Grimes in that game last night, and he was the first one off the bench for RJ. Because Burks didn't play last night, just for a rest game.
Yeah, I was gonna say Burks did. I didn't see Burks last night.
Yeah, it was a rest game. So he stepped up to the plate and he played 20 minutes. Of course, he's not gonna make a lot of shots. This is the first time he's really been in there, and he played a lot of minutes with Julius and Derrick Rose, who had 28 points. We're not gonna forget that 3 for 6. I think Derrick Rose obviously was the best player last night. If it wasn't for Derrick, we wouldn't have been in that game. He carried us all night long. 11 for 20 from the field, 3 for 6. But just Quentin Grimes' ability to actually play with these guys, and not to really miss a beat, especially defensively. That's what impressed me. He didn't look scared defensively. Offensively, he might have looked like,
Right.
all right, let me, until he started hitting the shots, he kind of settled into it. But I think defensively, Quentin Grimes is somebody that Tom Thibodeau's going to give minutes to. I think it's going to be hard, and we spoke about this. If a trade comes down the line after December, maybe they might include Burks if that's what it takes. You know what I'm saying? In terms of a tradable salary, I'm not talking about trading the guy
I'd hate to see Burks go.
because Grimes is playing good. I don't want anybody to go crazy because of that. But that's just how the NBA works. If there's a trade that comes along and they need to throw a player in there, right now, if we didn't have Grimes, Burks wouldn't be thrown in there. But the fact that we do have someone who can step up as a wing player and score and still play make a little bit, okay, cool. If we have to get rid of one of these guys, cool, I'll do that. And at this point, would you rather get rid of Grimes or get rid of Burks? You know what I'm saying? In terms of contract, and if you're going to get the same amount of production pretty much or around there, then at this point, you would try to, it's in terms of the contract as well, 10 million, I think Burks is getting. Yeah, you're saving a lot of money doing that.
Yo, Derrick Rose led with 28 points.
28 points.
Yeah.
28 points. Like I said, 3 for 6 from the field.
Bro, that's our point guard off the bench, bro.
Off the bench. And this is what I'm saying, man. Is you're going to have to deal with either Kemba, Derrick Rose, or Quickly.
50% from 3.
People are going to be in trouble.
People are going to be in trouble.
That's what I said when we first got Kemba. I think our first pod after our first live after we got Kemba, I was like, can you imagine dealing with Kemba? Like, if Kemba's having a good night and Rose is having a good night, you got a long night ahead of you.
Yeah, boy. That is a scary game. That's a scary game.
Right.
That is such a scary game.
If they both having a decent night.
Yeah. Because what that does is it opens up everything for RJ, Julius, the guys who like to attack and get in the paint. It opens up the driving lane for Kemba. If Kemba is going crazy and he's getting these pick and rolls, and then you got alley-oops going to Mitchell Robinson, come on. That's going crazy all night, and you have so much space to make that happen.
You know who I like, though, that I didn't think I was going to like it was going to matter, and I don't know how much it's going to matter moving forward. But, yo, Cap, you listening? Nah. But one, I don't know if it's going to matter moving forward, but I really like Taj, man.
Yeah.
I like Taj.
I've been saying that since last year.
Yeah.
I've been saying that since last year, man.
Yeah, I like Taj, man. Like what he brings, and like the last game, he was scoring like regular. Like I was like, yo, if he's just knocking down a 15-footer like that, I was like, yo, that's like super useful. Because one thing Julius got in his arsenal that I really like is that long two.
Yeah,
he could knock that down as nothing. The same way he won that game just inside the 3-point line.
Yeah.
He could knock that down, but I like Taj, man. Like if Mitchell, I think it's gonna be special. But it seems like already Taj is more of an offensive player than Mitchell.
I mean, he's always been. He's always been though.
Yeah. So it's almost like if it's not for his age, he probably should be the starting center. I mean, he's not. He don't got the height and the length. He don't scare people like Mitch does.
If we're talking about a 28-year-old Taj Gibson, 27-year-old Taj Gibson,
yeah. Like with Chicago,
it's a clear.
Right, that's what I said. If it's not for age,
yeah,
he's my starter.
Yeah, for sure.
He's more confident and he's knocking down threes. Mitchell's been talking about this 3-pointer he's been working on, and I'm like almost like he's not looking for the shot at all. That right there, Skid. That's my only knock. He's not looking to contribute offensively at all.
I don't want to make
for putbacks.
Yeah. Like I mean. There's just certain guys that's just what they do. You know what I mean? Mutombo is always one of those guys. Who else? I just had his name right. DeAndre Jordan. DeAndre Jordan was always one of those guys on a lot of good teams, but his game was his game. But you needed him because you knew what he did. You know what he brought to the table. I think the thing about Mitch is that at least he can hit a free throw. You know what I mean? Like it's not as bad as DeAndre Jordan. Don't get me wrong, his free throws aren't amazing, but it's still not as bad as DeAndre. But I want to see Mitch with a little hook shot. Like that's it. Like I don't even care about the 3. I don't care about the mid range. and all of that extra stuff, it'll take way too much for him to actually stand there, square up, and shoot a mid-range. Mentally, it'll take way too much for him to go through that process. So I just want to see a hook shot. So if he's comfortable with somebody with his body between the ball and the player. Get yourself in the post, go for a dunk or something like that, or go for a hook shot. Him actually stepping out and shooting a mid-range is something that we probably won't see for another 3-4 years. If he's not even looking at it at this point.
He's not even looking, bro.
He's not even looking at it. Because
3-4 years?
Look how long did
4 years.
How long did it take?
They gotta extend this. If he's gotta look good this season, number one, he gotta look good. If they talking about they want these guys scoring,
3 to 4 years for him to start taking it's like consistently taking a mid-range.
What?
I said 3 to 4 years for him to start consistently taking a mid-range.
I don't know. That's too long.
Yeah, that's way too long.
He's already in the
how long did Nerlens Noel take before he started taking at least the 10-footer?
I hear you.
One season. When they told him
one season when he was here. How long has he been in the league?
Oh, I don't care.
No, I mean he's been taking a couple of them.
I'm just saying it takes a while for someone who doesn't even look at the basket to start taking a mid-range.
I am sick of that. We had Ronnie Terry.
Think about it. We're talking about all of the stuff we talked about Ben Simmons. We've seen him actually make 3-pointers in actual games.
Yeah.
In the offseason.
I feel like one.
No. I'm not talking about an NBA. In the offseason, you see him pulling up and doing all kinds of stuff. But he will. How many games has he been in the league? And he's taken 3-pointers, I believe, in the last 2 years. Taken.
I mean, but we're not asking for him to knock down threes.
I'm just saying in terms of the mindset.
Right. For him to go from
not even looking
defensive to more offensive.
Right.
Yo, but Ricky, but
we gotta be realistic with that.
It don't gotta be because I was thinking about this. If I'm the coach, I'm like this. Yo, you grab that rebound, take it, look for the shot first, go back up. I don't care if you miss, go up.
Well, going up doesn't always have to be a jump shot though. Like I don't mind if,
but that's what I'm saying. But there's sometimes where it's like he's close enough where he could just turn around and go like a little floater, a baby floater. He's 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
Well, what I do? Go ahead, Rick.
No, I would say the height doesn't make a difference. It's like what Josh is saying though. It's your mindset, like how you're gonna do it. Like Tyson Chandler when he used to play for the Knicks, he used to get a lot of rebounds and a lot of second chance. Like he would tap it out to the offense, but he would never just go right back up with it. Right. Unless he said, "All right, I'm going to score." That's when you saw him put the ball on the floor and then go back up with it.
Right.
So I hear what he's saying. The mindset.
You know why it's a big deal is because for me, the Knicks, I think they have a few different weapons.
Mm.
If you got to be honest, like if you got to stick on that center. Like Mitchell could pick up 5 fouls a game if he just goes back up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes you go for the rebound, you might have the wrong guy underneath there trying to box you out, somebody out of position. You go right back up over somebody a little bit smaller than you, or you're a problem for the other center. Just to create that pressure on the defense, just put it back up. Like it don't even have to be like the jumper. That's got to be in the arsenal. You got to throw up a little baby jumper. A 5-footer, a 10-footer after you get the ball, go back up. Something because you take pressure off the other players. He's knocking it out. If you got Grimes out there, if you got Fournier who didn't really look that good this last game or whatever the case. It say dudes are having a bad game. So there's got to be a game where the center
takes over.
Yeah, not and I'm not even saying take over. Like put it back. Like grab that rebound. Like the basket is you guys, and he's like, and it's like, dude, like. Yeah. Drive a little bit, like get in the middle of. I don't know. For me, that just drives me a little crazy. It's like, like the defender's not even really on him.
Maybe this is just a chess move where he's trying to.
He's getting into it. Yeah.
Or he wants people to think that he never looks for the shot, and then when when half the season go after All Stars,
he doesn't look for it. He doesn't look for it.
But he's young enough.
You could train him to think that way
right,
now.
But that's another thing. They got to get in there and be like, hey, look, you see this?
He's got to want it too. Yeah, I feel like Obi got so much better because he wanted it. Like
because here's my thing: post him up. My thing is, you post him, and you could look out. Like if you posting them, and you got the vision, and you can see this dude is open or whatever the case. Something I don't know.
I mean, it's as simple as grabbing the rebound, securing your position,
Put him back in the post.
get him just one dribble.
That's what I'm saying.
It
Get one
doesn't
in there.
have to be a
Step.
whole back him down and literally grab the ball, one power dribble and throw your shoulder into him and then go up. That's
right.
it.
But that's what I'm saying.
Head
As simple
fake
as that.
Something like, but I mean, it was his first game back, and I'm not talking about. I don't want to go crazy. I don't want to go crazy. It's a preseason game. It's his first game back. I'm not going crazy. I'm just saying what I've saw in the past. I was actually, like I said earlier, I was pretty satisfied with what I saw from Mitch last night, given the fact that he hasn't played since March. I was okay with what I saw.
No, he's looking good.
There's some things about his game you want to see change, but that's if you want him to be a star. We just want him to be Mitch. If Mitch is Mitch, we go further this year. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
If Mitch was here last year, with all of the flaws that we're talking about right now,
different
we probably would have won that series, or we probably would have won 7.
But I still want him to shoot. I feel like it will give,
and I don't care who the center is.
Yeah, anybody.
Yeah, and just keep your defender, because if they're gonna play off of you, it allows them to double team another player. So make an attempt to look like you're gonna shoot.
Like you said, like make them defend. Like if Mitch pulls up and knock down a 3, because I'm not even really asking for 3. But if he's all the way out by the 3-point line and he's pulling his man out with him, and his man is giving him 5 feet, imagine he knocks down 3 in a row. How dangerous that just makes the Knicks. I don't care who's on the floor with him. It won't even matter at that point. If he's pulling that big dude out, it's a field day in the paint.
Well, actually, we spoke about Tyson Chandler. How often did Tyson Chandler take a mid range?
I don't even remember.
Never.
But he never really. It was only a dunk. He only had alley oops.
That's what I'm saying.
So this is what I mean. I don't know how much I think our expectations are too high because of what we want to see.
Yeah,
we would love to see a center who can do all of those things that we're talking about.
I think I don't think that should be a tall order.
No.
To put the ball back.
It's not a tall order, but we're talking about someone who did not even attend college.
Okay, he coming off a broken foot. I cut him some slack, but we just wishful thinking.
He didn't have any time to actually structure his game for the modern NBA. He just didn't. He came straight from high school. And being 7'2", 7'1", however tall he is, in high school.
Kevin Garnett? How tall was Kobe? How tall was LeBron?
Come on, bro. Stop that. I don't want to be that show, bro.
But you're kind of making excuses for him, and it doesn't matter.
I'm not making excuses.
Now.
It's
regardless
not an
of where
it's
he
not
came
his style
from.
of play. It's not his style of play.
But Cat.
It's not his style of play.
I agree.
Which is why his pay rate, if we do re-sign him, it's $12 million.
This is what I'm talking about.
This is what we know Mitch is.
But this is what I'm talking about. He's up for he's supposed to re-sign.
Right.
And I feel like they want to see what's happening. And I feel like if Mitch is Mitch, he's looking good. I don't know if he's going to get the max.
If he's healthy,
but if he could put the ball back up, like you said, grab it, get in the post one time.
Yeah, that's it.
Give me a little drop step, something. Get in there and then dish it. Something like that. He's got to have that. You got to post up. A post.
The post will come. I think that I can see coming. That I guarantee will happen.
He's got to add that. He can't
that I can actually see, because that from grabbing the ball, going up for a dunk instead of grabbing the ball or grabbing the ball and putting your guy in the post, instead of grabbing the ball and turn around and looking for someone to pass it to.
Right.
Like the difference between those two things is a lot shorter than him grabbing the rebound, stepping out and taking a jump shot. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't expect that. That's why that's too lofty of an expectation for somebody like Mitch. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about somebody who don't even look at the basket. You want him to step back and pull a jump shot? I haven't even seen him take one dribble for a post move yet.
I mean, like you said he came out that he's not adjusted to the modern game. I'd like to believe that's what it is.
I mean, he has adjusted to the modern game in some way, but he just doesn't have the skill to do exactly what we want.
I think what'll work in his favor is we have so many weapons that it may not matter.
That was my point.
Right. But in those games, in those situations, we get to the playoffs, that is going to matter. Is it really? You gotta think about it, right? So. If you are the only guy on the floor,
if
Julius was like, huh?
Listen, if you're the only guy on the floor that can't shoot, how
Yeah,
big of a deal?
now it could be that much more dangerous. That's all. Because because everybody could shoot, it doesn't mean we're gonna win all these games. That could be a close game. That could be a little X factor in a certain game, in a certain matchup. That could help. But I think that is going to be a long season. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
What you say?
Go.
I said I think it's going to be a long season. Mm-hmm. I think at some point somebody's going to go in there and work with them and say, "Hey, look, post one step, spin off them. If you ain't got it right there, dish it back out. At least get in the post, dish it back out after that."
That's all I want. Somebody to pull him to the side and just train him that way. Because you said it. That's not his mental game. Yeah. So you're going to have to train him. And that's part of the sport. He's either going to learn it or he doesn't learn it.
Well, my thing is there's no way he's been in practice with Taj Gibson for 2 years and he hasn't seen that yet. Or worked with Taj at least.
Seen it is one thing, but to actually...
No, that's what I'm saying. Work with Taj. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Work with Taj on it. Like, I don't think there's a way... He's been here for 2 whole years, and him and Taj haven't worked on post moves, or him and Kenny Payne haven't worked on post moves.
I was gonna say that ain't Taj's job, but he got like Kenny Payne.
I mean he's a teammate. Taj is that kind of.
He'll help him with that. Yeah, but
he's that kind of.
The coach. If Taj is telling him to do it, he ain't gonna do it. The coaching staff got to give him the green light. Hey, look.
Right. Kenny Payne. Like I said, I don't see Kenny Payne not telling him to.
Right. So that's what I look for. We got a bunch of. I can't wait to see it because I feel like the Knicks are like an exciting team.
Right.
I think as good of a team as the Knicks are, I think they're still gonna sneak up. I don't think cats understand. Mm-hmm. If you have a team that has a great starting five against the Knicks, and then they put their bench and it's gonna be a tired night. They gotta run the chase.
They gotta run all night long.
Zero. They gotta chase quickly around. You gotta chase Obi around.
Yeah.
This squad could be really dangerous. And I feel like that's the cushion that Mitchell has. But if we ended up in a situation where it was a focus on, which we always gotta hope that there's never gonna be a game where our center has to shine.
Right. Well,
you know what I'm saying?
You shouldn't.
Which we did all last season, but we had good games from our centers. On the defensive end, these guys are
Yeah. You're going to need your center to make a big play here.
They got to do something at some point.
Hopefully, it doesn't have to be an offensive one. You know what I mean? I think a lot of these guys are good enough defensively to make that big of an impact, where they don't have to be the guy that makes an offensive play. You know what I'm saying? They can just be there and be in the play and just help the play work the right way. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't see Mitch being the guy we ever look to get a basket. And I think that's the only reason why you'll never see that. I think Mitch doesn't ever have the opportunity. How many times have we ever seen Mitch in the post and we threw it down to him and let him work?
Threw it down to him? I mean, the only time I see the ball get thrown to him is for the alley-oop. I don't ever see him.
This is my point. This is so much has to change before we see any of this stuff that we want to see. Like the jump shot is cool if he's completely wide open. But if he's completely wide open, what is Mitch going to try to do? Take a step and dunk it.
Which he should. Which I feel like.
Right. So this is kind of what the issue is. It's kind of like, it's like apples to oranges because it's like that's just not the style of player he is.
Here's what I think may happen. I think that we're gonna have some games where we're gonna blow out a team here and there, and then he's gonna have guys just do, all right, play around with this. You know, take a shot here, take a couple shots, try it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if it works out. All right, we work on that. We build on that. If it's not working out, like, all right, look, the shots is not yours. Right. We'll just stick with Taj taking those or whatever the case may be. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not saying this to say that I don't see that the kid still got a bright future. If he can stay healthy, I want to see him for more than 35, 36 games because that's where the game comes to you and then you start to grow and learn. Like 35 games last year, he's not going to be confident. You know what I'm saying? I don't think anybody really would be, but I think that the squad all together, the way they pulled out that win for a preseason game was a big indication as to where the Knicks are mentally in their spirit.
Well, I'm proud of all of us, especially myself, because we literally went, what is this, 45 minutes, and I didn't mention RJ Barrett.
I did.
I spoke about him too.
RJ Barrett, man. It wasn't the most amazing game ever, but this is starting to look like what we're going to see from RJ. 50% from the field, around 50%, and around 40% for three. And this is kind of what we want RJ to be. If he can be a 50% from the field, 39, 40% from three player, that is a 20 plus per game player. You know what I mean? And
do you remember when we had a one live, and I said if RJ Barrett is going to play like that, he could kind of be like the poor man's Klay Thompson out there, like the way if he's knocking down threes at a clip like that.
I think you're limited RJ if he's being a Klay Thompson.
But yeah, probably. I hear you because Klay Thompson. They say
he can only shoot.
Is he a good right? I don't even think he's that great of a defender, but
RJ Barrett, he's 3 and D. He's definitely 3 and D.
He's a good
definitely 3 and D. He's definitely 3 and D.
But he's not a ball handler though. I know that about
no.
He's like horrible with the ball in his hand.
A lot of screens.
But like he could just take that shot. And so RJ Barrett is strong. He's blocked that block shot. I thought was so dope. It was like he almost became my favorite Knick after that.
Bro, I was in here yelling, and baby, wife was in there watching. I forgot what she was watching. I'm in here yelling. I'm like, my bad. Let me go in the room with this. I'm in here yelling. But it's just something that we want to see. Reggie Bullock is not here, and everybody's wondering who's going to guard the best player, who's going to make the big defensive plays.
Look like RJ
position, and that's what he wants to be. He wants to be a two-way player. He said that himself. I want to be a two-way player, so yeah, I'm gonna have to get better defensively.
Let me ask you this again. Now that we all through the preseason, we finished with the preseason. How do you see Evan Fournier on the defensive end?
He looks pretty good to me.
It's okay.
I think okay.
He looks and when I say pretty good, he looks good for someone who's not known as a defender.
Not known as a defender, yeah. Because I feel like he gets like a crossover, and it just looked like they lost him.
Well, the thing about him is he's not a good one-on-one defender, but he's a good coverage defender, like a team coverage player. I think there's a lot of plays he makes, and he puts pressure on the ball more than anything. He's never going to be a ball stopper. That's not what he does defensively. But he definitely puts pressure on the ball. He'll make you because he's going to take some risks. He's going to try to reach around you and get the pick. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the plays that he's going to make because he's not the best one-on-one defender. So yeah. For someone who's not a great one-on-one defender or known as a great one-on-one defender, he plays pretty good on the defensive end of the floor. He gives effort 100% of the time, and I think that's the thing that matters most.
I don't see people blowing by him on a regular, but I don't see
it will happen. But
I don't see him not doing anything. I don't see him like doing that Matador D that I can't stand. So yeah, for me, he's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did the young whippersnapper center play last night?
No.
Jericho?
No minutes.
Yeah, because when you say Matador D, I thought about him immediately.
I mean, once who do we play? The Pistons game? Once they took out Sims for Sims, the other Sims, Amir Sims, who ironically they waived today. I think he's on the G League team. I hope I'm right about that.
I thought you said Knight was the one who went to. No, he went to Westchester. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Knight was signed and then he went to Westchester. I think it might be the same thing for Amir Sims. I believe he also went to Westchester. Let me just double check that because I believe that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, they sent him down. Like that's why when they signed Brandon Knight, I was like, "What's going on here?" Then they said they waived him, but they waived him to send him down to the.
Send him down. Right. So, which is
odd. What's the point of a two-way contract if you waive him? Why don't they just like? Is that the process? You have to be waived to get sent to the. Because that means he's on G League. That's it.
Maybe it's like a roster thing because you can't have so many players, so they're like, all right, we'll just do this.
Okay, is that not humiliating to be a starting guard in this league? You got picked 8th, and now you're going to the G League. Like you're getting signed to go to the G League 8 years into your career, some shit.
It's not ideal, but I tell you what, I'd take the opportunity if I had to.
Oh yeah, it's still the NBA.
Yeah, man, especially because you can
sign checks.
He better cook while he's over there.
He's got to cook. I mean, and also someone that we also signed a two-way deal, someone that I believe was drafted by the Spurs in 2019. Might have been the same year as RJ. Lucas Samanik. He's signed to a two-way contract. I don't know what it is with us and Lucas.
Lucas Samanik. Yeah.
But bro, it's like we're trying to catch the next one. Like, yo, you got
Word.
another Luka.
Like, yo, your name Luka? Come here, let me see what you got.
You shoot the ball
Yeah,
real quick.
yeah. Like, oh, he
like
made the first.
like you can see, like he made the
Shoot
first
him
one.
up.
Yo,
Yeah.
yo.
Shoot him up. See if he send him to the G League.
Like you see
Fuck
what
it, you
he
never
ties.
know.
To the G League.
Yo, you see the way he ties his shoes? He's a
Yeah.
baller. He's a baller for real. You gotta pick him up. But yeah, man, and yeah, Amir Sims, I believe he's on the G League team. But the game where, and that's the point I was trying to make, the game where he took out Jericho Sims and he put in Amir Sims for the rest of the second half, I believe that was what changed a lot of what was going wrong defensively.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I think Amir was able to guard guys all the way up into the perimeter. Jericho's not gonna do that. He's just, and if he does go out to the perimeter, he's gonna let you walk right by.
I mean, it's not that he's not gonna do that. It's just I don't think he knows how to do that yet.
Right? Yeah, he's good. Which is why I was saying when we first spoke about him from the first game, I said I like him. I said, but he's going to take some time. It's going to take some time for that guy to be fine, and I'm good with that, especially with Taj playing the way Taj is playing. I don't want to see. I don't
right.
See Jericho this year. As much as I like to see, as much as I like Jericho, I don't want to see him because if Jericho's playing, that means one or two things is happening. We're losing, and we shouldn't be losing, and they're just resting guys, or somebody got hurt, and I don't want either one of those scenarios.
Or we have such a gigantic lead that it's all right to put him in.
I think that's
not in the contract year for Mitch. They're gonna let him play in the G League to get those.
Well, if we doing blowouts let's say we blowing out somebody in the first couple of weeks, he running them dudes. He needs them in who? If we blowing out teams like he said, if we blowing out, we see Jericho Sims. I still don't think he's either running Mitchell because we still didn't see.
Right?
Nerlens.
Yeah. He's running Nerlens. He's running Nerlens. He's running Taj. There's so many people in the pecking order that if they're healthy, we probably won't see Jericho Sims.
That's the thing. If everybody stays healthy.
Yeah, if everyone stays healthy. And that was my point. I don't want to see Jericho because that means one of two things went wrong. So, as much as I want to see him, something went wrong for seeing him play in the
Dallas beat Milwaukee too. So Dallas looking good in the West.
Is that what you're saying? Yeah, Dallas beat. Listen, man, Dallas is in the West, and they're making a case for one of the top 8 teams. Dear. But they definitely that sounded crazy. I peeped that. I thought, did that sound fucking they're looking crazy.
Derrick Rose.
Yo,
congrats to Derrick Rose proposing to his lady. Like she was gonna say no with the ring. You give me a ring like that, but like I do.
I thought they was my dude. I thought that was ice for the champagne. I was like, oh
yeah.
I thought that was
put that in your glass. Put that.
Yeah, that was. I don't know. There's no way you go to a dinner at Madison Square Garden by yourself and you don't know you're getting proposed to. So something had to happen.
Well, I mean, they've been together forever though. So I mean,
and you ain't never had dinner on Madison Square Garden floor before.
Well, he wasn't here that
coming out with the meals. I'm like, where the kitchen at?
Where I'm like, yo, where the lights at? Like, what's going on?
Like, what y'all doing?
What y'all doing? But yeah, man. So just to finish up on RJ Barrett, he had 18 points. He was a 0 on a plus minus.
I got a black eye. Is he mind your business?
I got a black eye. He don't got a black eye. Jay he's in character. You know how to stay in character.
No, I like.
I'd have took them glasses off by now. I don't know how you still doing that.
I saw him and I was like, yo, I'm gonna keep him right here. Y'all tell Izzy calm down. Why you gotta expose me? Wasn't nobody saying nothing about my shades?
Actually, that's a lie. That was one of the first things I said.
Yeah, immediately.
My dramatic brother. Yeah,
the over dramatic brother with the glasses. But anyway, RJ had 18 points. He only had 1 foul, which is something that you want to see. Somebody who's going to be guarding the best. RJ. You're going to be guarding the best players at the wing. I want to see you with 1 foul because you got to be out there to guard those guys.
Can I ask you something?
What's up?
What you think about these new fouls? The way they calling them? Or not calling them?
No, that's what I was gonna say.
I love it.
Are they calling them?
That's flow of the game, everything.
Basketball. It's the games are not going to last as long. You're not going to have James Harden at the free throw line all game long. And that's what I want to see. I'm tired of seeing a bunch of guys at the line all day long because they're forcing up shots and they're forcing the hand of the whistle.
I saw they did it with Trey Young. I saw Trey Young tried to do the whole thing when he jumped in. They didn't give him the shot, and he was over there talking to the ref like, all right, so what's happening? I love it that you got to actually play the game, get to a spot, get open,
yeah,
or take a real foul.
And guys are getting hit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're getting hit, and the rest is like, all right, let's keep
yeah.
it going. You know what I'm saying?
I like it. I like it.
And I
And
love it.
I think the only person on our team that really suffers from that is Quickly.
But
But we were saying
I'm
that last
glad.
year that he shouldn't be relying on that.
I'm glad because get rid of that early in your career.
Yeah,
Get rid of it early.
learn how to
Don't build that
score,
habit.
learn how to get that because dudes are still gonna foul you.
Because now you're
Yeah.
starting to see him throw up the floater a little bit more. He didn't
Right.
shoot great. He was 2 for 8 from the field. Only played 16 minutes. I think that had a lot to do with it. Guys are just playing well together. He put Grimes out there. Grimes is playing well. Derrick Rose is playing well. He didn't even have to put Kemba back in there. So
I think what he's gonna do this season, he's not gonna stick to a lineup. He's gonna say if it's working,
whatever's
we're
working.
staying on the floor.
Yep. Whatever's working. And with that mindset, you're going to bring the best out of each player every night because each player is going to try to be the guy
The
that
guy
gets
on the floor that night.
Yeah, those rotation minutes. You know what I'm saying? So for sure. But yeah, man, what was I saying about RJ? Yeah, two blocks, 6 rebounds, grabbing boards. Like I said, if you're not doing anything but scoring, if your shot isn't falling, I want to see you do something else. But when your shot is falling and you're still out there grabbing rebounds, getting blocks, and not picking up a lot of fouls, only 2 turnovers with no assists. So the ratio there is off. But RJ is more than anything. RJ's passes. I don't know if you guys have noticed, his passes are starting to look a lot more flashy.
Clean.
Start getting crispy.
That is how he's gonna start becoming a household name because nothing about his game has changed yet. He still does primarily the same stuff, just more efficient.
He's not flashy. So,
he's not flashy. He has to have something flashy. Yeah, if he starts doing these flashy passes and he's starting to look good. If these guys start making these shots and he's on a lot of highlight reels, and now he's on ESPN for these highlight reels, then you're going to start seeing RJ's name being mentioned in all of these lists and also where he should be mentioned, especially knowing the jump that he can make on this team. He's still clearly the second to third most important player on this team, and as a playoff team, like I think Thibodeau mentioned that in one of his post-game press conferences, or pre-game maybe, was that RJ was someone who averaged 18 points on a playoff team. You know what I mean? Like he didn't just average 18 points on a basketball team in the NBA. He averaged 18 points on a playoff team, a team with an all-star, a most improved player. So I think these guys they got a lot of chemistry that they've been building. I think that's why you see a lot of these minutes. Yeah, played them guys a lot of minutes last night. Derrick Rose played 28 minutes. He's not going to play again until Wednesday. So cool. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I think it works. But anything else you guys want to hit before we get up out of here?
It was one thing I want to bring up about the league, something that's different as far as I had something I wanted to ask. I was asking about the referee and the calls. Oh, what do you think if Dallas starts winning?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that if they're like a real contender in the West, would we be able to say that's because they can't pass through New York? Like 8 of their players pass through New York. Now
no one will ever give us that much credit.
I know we'll never get that kind of
never. That'll never happen.
But I just think that would be interesting. They got all these players from New York and they over there winning and they smacking. So
yeah,
that would be pretty funny.
That's always what happens though.
Yeah.
I don't care though. They're not winning.
They're not winning. Yeah, I mean, there's too much going on out in the West. Don't get me wrong. They've played well against teams like the Clippers, and a lot of those good teams, especially when everyone's healthy. I want to see what they look like.
I want to see all those teams. I don't care. I want somebody to bust up the West.
I just want to see the Lakers win it.
You want to see the Lakers what?
Win it.
Why?
Because I want Melo to get the ring.
I like Melo, but I don't want to see the Lakers win. I don't like that super team stuff. I
don't give a damn about the Lakers getting another ring. They always gonna have rings. That's just the Lakers. I want Melo to get a ring.
I want the Lakers to be like embarrassed.
Yeah. I don't think that's gonna happen.
I want all the teams to get embarrassed. Actually,
that's what I'm saying. I want to see somebody like if Golden State could come up and sneak up on them.
I'd love it.
Utah. You know what I mean? If the Nuggets, I know Portland ain't going nowhere.
I think the problem that the Lakers will have that teams will try to exploit is their shooting. I think Kendrick Nunn is a good shooter. Malik Monk is a good shooter, but I don't think they have enough high usage 3-point shooters on that team, and I think that's something that's they're gonna need. They're gonna need to get somehow before the end of the season. I think
Who's
they're
this? The
gonna
Lakers?
the Lakers. I think they're gonna end up with Buddy Hield by the end of the season. They're gonna make a trade for Buddy, somebody who they can start and run and make them a better shooting team. You know what I mean? Like I said, Monk is a great 3-point shooter. Same thing with Kendrick Nunn. But neither one of those guys are high usage players. And Buddy Hield is someone who's more of a high usage player. And I mean, he's not great defensively, but I mean, you got Dwight, you got AD, you got LeBron behind you, so you don't really got to worry too much about defense. Go out there and score. That's it. Mike Miller wasn't a great defender neither, but that's what he did for LeBron. That's the only way I see them really getting a chip out of this. But they need to do it somehow. Give my man Melo a chip so I could rest peacefully, man. That's all I really care about. You know what I'm saying? I don't really get much sleep. You know what I mean? Nowadays, because I be thinking about Melo getting a ring, and I'm sick of it. I need more sleep. I need more sleep. Yeah, I'm saying, just keeping it real. I know Dre doesn't really care about Melo getting a ring.
I like Melo. I just wish, like, if he stayed with Portland, I would hope he got a ring with Portland.
I get it. Me too, because I like Dame more. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I trust me, I understand, bro. But listen, he's finally on a team that's a contender for the first time in his career. Outside of
like, they got a lot of old cats, and I'm not saying that to be funny about their age. But sometimes that stuff, man. I mean, Russell Westbrook is looking good. LeBron looks good. Anthony Davis looks good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a long season.
Yeah,
it's a long season, and they're gonna have to rest games. They're gonna have to rest some games.
And if dudes is resting, so now you gotta rest the right game. You gotta wait to play.
Right. Well,
you gotta wait to play.
Westbrook's not gonna rest. Westbrook's not gonna rest a lot of games, and neither is LeBron, unless LeBron gets injured. That's the only way he rests a lot of games. He's not a guy who rests 15 games a season unless he's completely hurt. He might rest 5, if anything. But LeBron's gonna play a lot of minutes. Russell's gonna play a lot of minutes. You're not gonna see AD play a lot of minutes. It's just he just doesn't do this. I don't think he's ever played an 82 game season. But you still got Dwight, you still got Melo out there. You still got a lot of those pieces that you can just get some points on the board. I don't know, man. I like their chemistry so far, but I just hope that the Nets don't win. That's it. That's all it.
Oh yeah.
That's all it boils down to.
The thing about the Nets, I
don't want
even without Kyrie, they got a chance.
Even without Kyrie, they do have a chance. You know what I'm saying? If James Harden if James Harden was James Harden last year, they would have beat them, and they probably would have won a championship.
Yeah, he got hurt though. So
yeah.
They lost by a little bit.
But yeah, man, that's really all we got. Thank you guys. Shout out to the chat. Tune, Izzy, what's going on, bro? Who else was in here? We had Legion in here earlier. We had Jelani in here. Thank you guys for being in the chat and making it live. Of course, if you're here, hit that like and subscribe. Spread the word. Why Dre looking like an early 20s manager that's gonna make you sign a 360 deal.
I sign right here.
You do look a little like Jermaine Dupri-ish real quick.
Don't worry about it.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Sign at that line.
I got you.
Just sign right here. I got you. They ain't gonna do nothing. I got your back. I got you.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I thank y'all once again for tuning into the bottom as he scribbles out the contract. Yeah, man, this dude can stay and act for a whole hour. He kept them glasses on. I ain't playing with you at all. But listen, man. Hey, there he is. You see the black eye? That's because he was talking too much. Yo, man, I can't wait to see y'all next week, man. Opening night. When am I coming up? Wednesday.
You coming up too? You coming up on Wednesday
night? No, Tuesday night.
Okay.
Yeah, come on, son. Don't do that. Because I was just trying to make sure you knew. Because I asked you, can I stay at my brother's crib when I come up to New York? You talking about? Oh, yeah, I don't know. I gotta think about it. I ain't gonna we had that conversation.
Who said I gotta think about it?
Yo, hold on.
Yo, Rick, you know what I told him?
What's that?
I said I ain't gonna believe it till I see. You know how many times he come to New York? He be like, "Yo, can I stay with you?" I have the whole room set up, and he be something. I'm like, "Yo, Cat, where you at?" He be like, "Yo, I'm with Alex. Yo, I'm with Aaron. I'm with
Dre.
I'm like, "Yo, we cleaned up a whole room."
I didn't stay at your crib the last time I was there.
You came after.
Did I stay at your crib? Like I asked you if I could stay at your crib.
I don't even think you stayed at the crib. Nah, you stayed one time before, but not the last time.
Yes, I did the last time.
I don't remember.
Remember, I stayed and I left the middle of the night and I
Oh
drove
yeah,
back.
yeah. You came at the middle of the day. You came
I
like
didn't
6
come in the
o'clock,
middle. I
and then
did
you
not.
left
I
at
did
that
not.
midnight.
I was there early afternoon. We had a whole barbecue at your house, Andre. You see how he goes crazy? Yo, man, I've had to deal with this for 33 years, y'all. 33 years, man.
So-
Guys, come running up
so
there
say he'll
anytime
take the
you ready.
room.
Talk about.
I'll take the room. Listen, man, this is definitely regular stuff, regular shenanigans with the fam. But we gotta get up out of here. Thank you once again for tuning into the God Knicks podcast. I'm Apollo Reed. He's Andre Jalil. He's Rick the Ruler.
Rick,
We
you
are
taking
God
Wednesday
Knicks
off?
podcast.
Man, I think I have to now because
They
when I
talking
saw
about
the
3:30.
itinerary, yeah, I was like, oh shoot, because I was going to take off
Yeah,
at 3.
we
So
gotta
I may
be.
have to.
Yeah,
I
we
might
gotta
have to
be at
leave at
Legends
like
at 3
12.
o'clock.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to.
We
leave
have
the
to?
job.
I mean, that's part of the package. It's 3 o'clock is the where we get together and we link with
So like, if I
everybody.
showed up at 5 o'clock, I'm late. Like, yo, you ain't part of the package. It's
I mean,
not-
I don't know why you would show up at 5 o'clock if I'm gonna be
I'm
there
not
at 3.
saying that. I'm just saying, like, say something serious.
Oh, no, it's not. You don't. It was just part of
You
the
missed that
package.
part,
It's just
yeah.
something you missed that you paid for. It's no big deal.
Okay, got
Yeah,
you.
yeah. It's just it's that, and there might be something. We'll see. I think he said something about some additional things we might be getting to do at the garden, like maybe take a free.
Yeah, bring a mask, boy. We're gonna be repping. G-
Oh
yeah, he got the
GUK
mask. He got the mask.
GUK
Yeah, I'm
mask.
just saying, don't
Listen,
forget them
GUK
joints. Put them
mask.
joints in the duffel
is
bag right
coming.
now.
Listen, I already got them in there. That's the first
See?
things I threw in there. You know what I'm
See?
saying? We got to throw the
He
hoodies
ain't
on
put
and
no
all that.
underwear, nothing in there yet. You
I ain't put no
The first thing,
underwear,
masks
nothing.
right in the
First
middle.
thing,
mask in
yo, what
here.
I'm gonna need, yo, I'm gonna wear, yo, put the mask in the bag.
Mask.
Yo, have your phones ready. I'm trying to record that. I want to make a video out of it. We got
But
time.
hold on. You got 3 masks in the bag, or is my mask gonna be by the door?
Wow,
I just want
you see how the cousin
I just
do it.
want to
Look,
know.
listen,
I
y'all,
just
33 years, 33 years they've been doing me like this. This is
33
regular
years they've
occurrence.
been doing
33 years they've been doing me like this, man.
Because when he was a toddler, we was doing this to him.
When I was a kid,
Yo, you gonna leave your joint
I
by the
remember I was
door?
2 years old.
You
I remember I was a year and a half. I remember.
Can't
You ain't
speak
remember
yet.
no shit. Yeah, I was a year and a half.
I was,
I was drinking my bottle.
I was,
Drake came over.
I just learned how to walk, and I remember.
I just learned how to walk. Drake kicked me. See how I've been dealing with?
Jay kicked me. Yo, man. Listen, thank y'all once again for tuning into the God Mix podcast. I'm your host, Apollo Reed. We are God Up Knicks. Thank you once again. Till next time, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.